Wait, what? Oh.
In Malaysia, the story begins as Yelena Belova in complete disoriented of herself as she feels she has no purpose or drive or happiness like everyone else. She thinks if she buries herself in her jobs, she might fill the void, so took up a contract job to destroy a laboratory on behalf of CIA Director Valentina Allegra de Fontaine to conceal her involvement with the OXE group's an experiment called Sentry, the superhuman project.
Oh, superhuman, huh? Now I am beginning to get it. Oh my. But hey, was he made, born, or sent? Like, what is he? Please, I want more guys.
Yelena parachutes herself into the building as she fights the one as she is still standing until she made her way to the chamber. She was still explaining her predicament to the individual that was her hostage. She was waiting for someone that could give access to the evidence room, or she might have no choice but to blow the whole apartment up. She tarries still until a doctor-scientist points a gun at her. She fearlessly
Bang yourself in the face. Please show it. Yeah, Yelena, I guess it's better falling from the skyscraper than to get mobbed in the face. Hope it does look like a poker.
Yelena arrived at the facility. Everywhere seems quiet. She worked in, as she saw some few evidence on the desk of what was truly going on with the OXE group. As Yelena started shooting at him too, they started fighting each other, defending and striking. Both of them were obviously professionals. Then Yelena asks, John grabs Yelena and tries to
take a chill pill, bro. And you two ladies, why are you on each other's throat? This conversation is pretty lethal. The superhuman project crap, and now y'all are trying to shoot him. Yeah, he has no idea where he is. So, guys, bounce. Like, giddy out. Or shoo. Okay, Yelena. Now thanks for trying to reason with them. Captain America, what are blabbing about now? Few seconds ago you were on a cutthroat spree. Now you—
allowing Yelena, Walker, and Ava to escape, only to sustain no injuries despite being shot. Bob then uncontrollably ascends into the air before passing out and crash landing back at the compound, where he is captured and transported to the former Avengers Tower in New York City, now renamed the Watchtower. De Fontaine intends to introduce Bob to the press as a superpowered protector akin to the Avengers, hoping the PR stunt will avert her impeachment.
Oh, that impeachment will not be averted. Now, this is the view I like, dude. Who are you chasing? Or the Thunderbolt team? Is that how y'all name the film? Well, the director must feel his guts right now filming the sequences. Compiled scenes is no joke, bro. So now you find your way inside? Oh, who are you looking for? Oh, the lady that sent y'all to destroy each other. She's even drinking?
De Fontaine asked Sentry to kill John.
The hell out of here. You again, Crusher. Now I'm laughing.
In 1998, just 3 years after stopping Judgment Day, Sarah Connor finally believes the nightmare is over. But Destiny has other plans. While relaxing on a beach in Guatemala with her son, John Connor, the future leader of the human resistance, tragedy strikes. AT-800 Terminator sent by Skynet from the past appears out of nowhere and brutally murders John before vanishing. The war Sarah fought so hard to prevent just took away the only thing she had left. Fast forward 22 years later, the world has changed, but the danger remains. A new AI called Legion has replaced Skynet, and once again, the machines are back to finish humanity for good. In Mexico City, we meet Dani Ramos, a young woman living a normal life with her brother, Diego. But everything changes when an advanced killer robot, the Rev 9, arrives from the future. This Terminator isn't just metal, it's two deadly machines in one. A liquid metal outer shell and a solid endoskeleton that can operate separately. Just when all seems lost, a mysterious soldier from the future named Grace appears, part human, part machine, and fully badass. Her mission: protect Dani at all costs.
Come again, protect who? Are you actually seeing this dude right here? This guy is a freaking ass. Terminator, OMG, die Mustafa. Die already.
Come with me or you're dead in the next 30. Come with me or you're dead in the next 30.
Oh, hey, she's already dead. Man, this here is some flying monkey shite. Okay, oh, my god shite. This dude is pretty coco-hoo. Intense. You must be cray-cray. Or, are you from Guatemala? You're absolutely crazy, man. Just leave the poor girl alone, huh? Damn it. Stupid.
Together, They flee as the relentless Rev 9 hunts them down.
Hey, men. Dude, you gotta be kidding me. Now what? Oh, sorry. Are you seriously trying to kill her too? Just go away, dude. Go back to your stupid future and leave the poor Mexico biatch alone.
That's when Sarah Connor storms into the story older, hardened, and armed to the teeth. She's been tracking and killing Terminators ever since John's death, guided by mysterious messages signed for John. Grace soon reveals that in her timeline, Skynet never existed. Instead, Legion, another military AI, wiped out humanity in a nuclear apocalypse. And here's the twist. Dani isn't the mother of the future resistance leader. She is the leader herself.
Oh, leader my Quantumania ass. What type of leader runs away from a fight? Oops. Sorry, she doesn't know shit. In split of seconds, her so normal life turned to chaos. Oh, so not good. Well, girl, I wish you the mother knuckles best on this, your trajectory journey. Oh, running away, are you trying to go through the border? Where the hell is your family? Just this dude is already at the Mexico City data center. Oh, no. He's found you already? You take a step, he take the next. What kind of shite did you do in your former life, you Mexico biatch? She just sliced through him like pie. Woo. What is that? Is that bird eye view? A drone? Oh, you switch, dude. How did you feel in her body? Did you touch your bunch or breeches? Wait, what did you guys literally just got caught? At the border after y'all been acting smart? How could you? Now the juicy dude with 144, no pity zone is coming at you now.
Look, y'all are toast. With drones like that, I bet no fly with survives it. Pain in my ass. I can't tolerate him any longer. Oh my god, did she survive? Now both of you are dead. Like Dido. So dead. Wait, why the patrol detention center? Oh, thank god they're alive. What is Sarah doing? Is she sleeping? Oh, the dude is here. Unfortunately for y'all, freaking Terminator is alive at the venue. Come seal with this biatch. Now you're scanning. Dude, just leave the girl alone, Sarah. Will you get him already? Herself. Now what? Where are you taking Grace? Oh, she can take care of herself. Okay, Sarah, go get Dani. Where are you, Dani? Who are you? Oh. This dude is so beast, flying and jumping around like he owned the town. He'd be like, get the freaking out of my way. Who you? This war doesn't concern you. I'm here for Dani. Give her to me and I'd be on my merry way gladly. Oh, Sarah, please. Thank God you're out. Take the chopper already, because that bro is so relentless. Grace, run. Run, Grace, before the machine catches you. Please, man, just give up. She's not going to cause you troubles in the future anymore. Just let her... Okay.
Following Grace's lead, the group traces Sarah's mysterious messages to Texas, where they find the unthinkable, the same
Pig, dead on Sarah's
that
son.
Killed John Connor. But this machine, now going by the name Carl, has evolved.
Evolve? What in the Peter Parker's name do you mean he has evolved now?
Is that
Grace,
true?
please. And what in the heck name do you mean by asking him if
you're
it's
probably
true?
in coma.
Just let her end this, mannequin. Right now, Sarah. I know it's a hard pill, but please just take it. And help save your world for now.
With Skynet gone, it gained self-awareness, built a life, married a human woman, and developed a conscience. He's been the one sending Sarah the warnings, trying to make amends for what he did. Despite her hatred, Sarah agrees to join forces with Carl, Grace, and Dani to stop the Rev 9 once and for all. Closing in, Sarah contacts an old friend to get hold of a military-grade EMP, their best shot at destroying the advanced Terminator. But before they can even breathe, the Rev 9 tracks them down, turning their plan into a desperate chase across the skies. High above the clouds, inside a stolen C-5 cargo plane, chaos erupts.
Quite talking about chaos, bro. This is no chaos. It's absolute machine commandness. Like, how do you even try to fight against this?
You've been reacquired.
It's a million years older than you, bro. Oh, men, look. He's coming at you. Is it or him? Because right now I literally don't know what to call you anymore. Oh, shite. T-800 is coming hard on him. Yes, I like that. Oh, get him. Sarah, shoot the hell out of it, or him already. Oh, man, now they're both gone.
The Rev 9 boards mid-air, tearing through the aircraft like a demon made of metal and vengeance. Gunfire, explosions, and screams fill the air as the team fights for survival. Grace takes control, flying the damaged plane toward a nearby hydroelectric dam. Impact. The aircraft crashes spectacularly into the reservoir below, sending debris and fire across the night sky. Underwater and battered, the survivors emerge near the dam's power plant, but the Rev. 9 is right behind them. With nowhere left to run, this is it, the final stand.
After Eli Robbie's uncle wasp himself with the time machine, both Fitz, while May speaks to Mark on ways they can help Coulson, Dr. Fitz, and Robbie to come back to the land of the living, May brings out the Darkhold book, which contains the secrets powers of the universe. This book can corrupt a man. The information in the book can't be comprehended by a human mind. When Dr. Radcliffe tries to read the book, he felt like the book was damning his soul. The information he was getting was too much. He had to close the book. Dr. Radcliffe and himself, Ida can handle a quadrillion function because her mind can't be corrupted. So she's a perfect fit, but Coulson, he has no obligation to involve him in the matter. Now Robbie was still fighting with his demon. The Ghost Rider inside of Robbie had to leave his body. He storms into the warehouse too, taking down one of the thugs with the back of the car. She comes down from the car as she begins to beat them up. They shoot at her too, but she defends herself inside of Mark. This is the first time the Ghost Rider had a face-to-face conversation with Robbie, saying he's been a voice in Robbie's head for many years, but Robbie says they had an agreement for revenge. Robbie finally convinced the Ghost Rider to give him a second chance to finish what they started, but the Ghost Rider says there is. Immediately Robbie wasped through the portal too, then Mark helps him up. Simmons is a biochemist. She's quite a sight for his sore eyes. She's Fitz's wife-to-be. Her expertise on pterogenesis cocoon, a process wherein human are been made, so she tries to help the person inside the cocoon. Shortly as began to calm his nerves, the heart rate begins to reduce.
This is one way from the 100 ways to die. A scientist's carelessness almost cost his whole team their lives, but eventually lost his own. By his mistake, a $1 billion company also crumbled. Before the extinction of dinosaurs, a company called ILE St. Hubert built their laboratory in a secure location away from civilization. A laboratory for the sole purpose of animal experiments, discoveries, and studies. In one of the containment, a genetically and biologically induced dinosaur was alive and caged in, while under strict surveillance. The doctor came into the laboratory, was ready to access the containment direct study area with a stick of chocolate in his hand, a two-way access key, and a genetic globe tube. He puts the chocolate on his mouth while he gets ready to open the door. The other female doctor who was already in the containment was also ready to open the door. He drops the chocolate nylon on the floor after eating the chocolate in it. Then both of them opened the door by counting to 3. He walked into the containment. Then the chocolate nylon swindles its way in too. Shortly as the doctors was cleared to access, the second door opened immediately after they walked out. The chocolate nylon finds its way in the ventilation door unit, and that instantly caused a breach on the door as it began to malfunction. Every system began to shut down. All the containment isn't secured again, so everyone started running away. The doctor lady who had helped the male doctor access the door earlier before he left the chocolate nylon on the floor. She tries to unlock the door until she saw the dinosaur behind him, so she rather secure everyone than to let the dinosaur out from the containment. The dinosaur took the doctor to its chamber. 32 years later, since dinosaurs returned, the company that was crumbled 32 years ago started again with another name. Now they are operating as a pharmaceutical company. They embark on a quest to recruit freelancers. And private contractor Ms. Burneth and her team, including a civilian, Dr. Henry, who has no prior notice that he is about to embark on a dangerous and a very illegal trip to an island which all government on Earth has banned every citizen not to venture or wander into. Because of his expertise on the species of dinosaurs, the company needed their blood samples for experiment. The doctor was convinced by the employee with his love for dinosaurs. Now Ms. Burneth travels with the pharmaceutical company representative and Dr. Henry to gather her team. They met with King K, then later Bobby joined them. They usually dox a play where they act uninterested on the deal at sight to know how desperate the contractors are so they can renegotiate their contract deal. So Bobby tries to do it, but Burneth informs her that she and King K already done it, so he says okay. Then when are we leaving? Shortly they embark on the journey to a deserted island, sailing on a boat in a vast sea. Bobby, the pharmaceutical company representative, and King K checks the map as Ms. Burneth joins them. They try to pinpoint the exact location they intend on exploring. Dr. Henry designed a machine capable of drawing a vial of blood from any type of beast. When fired up from a given range, and with precise shot and timing, the biogun can engage and disengage when the vial is full of blood. The doctor tries to show the team how his designs works. As he activates the biogun to launch, out of the biogun, she immediately fires location. 47 miles due south away from Ms. Burnett and her team, Reuben and his 2 daughters was on an expedition for a family lone time in the sea. The older daughter brought along her boyfriend Xavier, so her dad can at least bond with him. Xavier is unapologetically unbothered, as he refuses to take over his shift, so Reuben can take a nap too, as Xavier has been sleeping. Reuben's daughter loves him still, as she thinks her dad doesn't see what she sees in him, his potential, so she don't want her dad meddling in her love life without taking his time to get to know Xavier, as she's an adult now. Shortly, Xavier's girlfriend saw 2 unverified aquatic beasts approaching their boat. She informed her dad. Before the dad could look, there was a turbulence on their boat. They became afraid. The dad asked the little girl to grab the wheel, so she holds it while the dad and her older daughter tries to inspect the boat, but he found nothing, so he was pulled back up. Still, they have no idea what had hit them. Immediately, the beast came underneath their boat. As they struggle with the boat capsized in the water. As the 3 of them jumped into the water, Xavier was on the deck, so Reuben swims to help him out because the door can't open anymore. Xavier needs to find the radio so that they can be able to radio out for help if they are lucky. Now the water is almost covering the boat. Xavier is almost drowning as he tries to break the door with his foot. He was able to break it open. The boat finally capsized fully as Xavier remained in the depth. Shortly, Reuben swims up to meet his daughters, as he says he doesn't know where Xavier is but promised to go back down. Xavier swims up from the depth too. Now the beast returns behind Xavier. Then he began to swim fast up to the boat, but it was catching up on him. Immediately he got to Reuben and his daughters. Then the beast swims under the boat and went away. Then Reuben and Xavier hugged. Finally, after spending hours alone on the seas, Reuben was able to radio out for rescue. So Ms. Burnett radio got the frequency and was able to receive the message too. He and her team saw that they were close to them. They decided to embark on a search and rest. Shortly, they arrived at their location as they rescued them. But King K asked Reuben why he had brought his family on a dangerous treat and not send them to school, but Reuben said they had done it before, and for his information, they are on break. The conversation was about to hit up before Ms. Burnett intervened. They talked about the beast and why it had attacked a boat, but the doctor insinuated that it might have saw the boat as a rival and decided to attack. Immediately, it hit Ms. Burnett's boat too, then roars up, but the doctor thinks the beast is beautiful, both King K. So the beast swims side by side with the boat. Now Ms. Burnett and her team must get the beast blood. As she runs out towards the boat, knows to get a shot at the beast, but the beast was far away. She needs to be closer. Now they had to speed up. Immediately he saw her. He stretched his hand to Bella, but then the dinosaur saw her as it went after her. It almost got Bella. It was a narrow escape for Bella as she got to where her dad was. The dinosaur could not get past the rocks blocking the way as it gave up, then went back. Reuben held and hugged his daughter firmly. Then their canoe came back to the surface from the deep. Ms. Burnett had gotten to the cave as they drew the last beast specimen. Unfortunately for them, the beast arrived at their location as they were still inside its nest, so it starts attacking both Dr. Henry and Ms. Burnett. They try to fight it off, but one of King K's men provoked it in an attempt to help Henry and Burnett. It then went after him. He immediately informed King K to pull him up as the beast chased after him. Dr. Henry then picks up the vial, was not secured as he fell off. Ms. Burnett went after him and held the ropes holding him. Peter Parker is a nerdy high school senior in New York City. His parents are dead, and he lives with his Uncle Ben and Aunt May. He has a crush on his next-door neighbor, Mary Jane Watson, who is also one of the few classmates who is nice to him. Her boyfriend, Flash, and his buddies pick on him. Peter's only friend is Harry Osborn, who, though rich and good-looking, is similarly an outcast. Harry, however, is somewhat jealous of the affection his father, Norman, shows Peter. Norman, the head of weapons contractor Oscorp, appreciates Peter's scientific aptitude and can barely conceal his desire that Peter was his own son. Peter's science class takes a field trip to a genetics laboratory at Columbia University. The lab works on spiders and has even managed to create new species of spiders through genetic manipulation and combination. While Peter is taking photographs of Mary Jane for the school newspaper, one of these new spiders lands on his hand and bites him. Peter comes home feeling ill and immediately goes to bed. At the genetic level, the venom injected by the spider bite begins to work strange magic on Peter. Meanwhile, General Slocum visits Oscorp to see the results of their new super soldier formula. When one of Norman's top scientists, Dr. Strum, warns him the formula is unstable, General Slocum threatens to pull all of the military's funding from Oscorp. Later that night, Norman exposes himself to the formula. He gains superhuman strength and agility, but is driven insane. He kills Strom and steals two other Oscorp inventions, an exoskeleton and jet glider. Peter wakes up the next morning feeling better than ever. He also learns his scrawny physique now ripples with muscles, and his eyesight is perfect. Now he prepares to go at school. As Mary Jane was passing by with her food tray, she slipped, was about to fall when Peter caught her and the food tray, balancing the plate back on the tray with no spill. Jane was surprised at Peter's reflexes, coupled with the fact that he was not outing on glasses now as usual. She said Peter seems different. Peter was dumbfounded. Then Mary Jane left. Peter sits back down as a fork remained glued to his palm. Now he learns he can shoot webs out of spinnerets in his wrists. As he pulled the web, the food tray hits Flash. Peter ran away as Flash saw him pulling the food tray as he rushed after him. Everyone accomplished him, including Mary Jane. Now Flash got to him as he punched Peter from behind, but he moved. Flash's fist hits the wall, but Peter says he doesn't want to fight him, as Jane also tells Flash to leave Peter alone. But Flash continued as Flash punched Peter again. He turned. Flash hand hits thin air. He did again. Peter almost bent to the ground as he stands. Back up. Then Flash friend tried to catch Peter from behind, but Peter back flipped twice in the air, so Flash had to push his friend away as he fights with Peter, but with every punch none touched Peter as Peter held his hand, twisting it, as Flash groans in pain. Then he pouched Flash as everyone becomes scared of Peter. They called him Freak. Even Mary Jane was still surprised at him. Wondering what is going on with this new development with Peter, Peter ran away as he saw how scared they were. As he went out to explore more of his newfound ability, he saw how Spider climbs wall, so he starts to climb wall. As he was amazed at himself, he starts running and jumping on the roof of New York building. Till he got to a crossroad, he has to shoot web out of his wrist again to get down from here now, so he shoots the web out, swings in fear as he hits the wall, and fell down. That night, he and Mary Jane casually flirt across the fence separating their backyards. Although Flash breaks this up when he arrives with his new car. Peter believes he needs a car to impress Mary Jane, but knows neither he nor the cash-strapped and retired Ben and May would be able to afford one. One night, he spies the advertisement in the paper. A local professional wrestling league will pay $3,000 to anyone who can survive 3 minutes in the ring with their champion, Bonesaw. Peter designs a suit and heads out to the arena, telling Ben and May he is going to the library. Ben and May are worried about the changes in Peter's personality, and Ben insists on driving him to the library. He tries to explain his and May's concerns. He encourages Peter not to get into any more fights. He might have the power to beat the Flash Thompsons of the world, but with great power comes great responsibility. The responsibility to know when and how best to use that power. Peter reacts badly. He tells Ben he is not Peter's father and should not act like he is. Peter not only survives the wrestling match, he defeats Bonesaw in 2 minutes. But the promoter pays Peter only $100. Angry at being gypped, Peter stands aside as an armed robber holds up the promoter. However, when he gets out to the street, he discovers the robber fatally wounded Ben and stole his car. In anguish, Peter chases down the robber and beats him. The robber falls out of a window where his body is recovered by the police. That same night, a menacing figure wearing the stolen Oscorp exoskeleton and riding the jet glider attacks a weapons test at Quest Aerospace, Oscorp's chief competitor. Their prototype is destroyed and General Slocum is killed. Peter is inspired by Ben's admonition to use his spider powers for the greater good. He designs a new costume and swings around New York, foiling petty robberies and muggings as the Amazing Spider-Man, a name he borrows from the announcer at the wrestling match. This does not endear him to Jay. Jonah Jameson, the editor and publisher of the Daily Bugle, New York's leading muckraking tabloid. However, when he learns Spider-Man sells newspapers, he puts out a call to photographers for better photos for his front page. Peter, Harry, and Mary Jane graduate from high school and move to Manhattan. Peter and Harry get a loft together and attend classes at Empire State. Mary Jane works as a waitress and struggles to get acting auditions. She and Harry also begin seeing one another. Harry apologizes to Peter but points out Peter was always too shy to make a move himself. Peter sees Jameson's advertisement for good photos of Spider-Man and, webbing his camera in convenient places, gets excellent photos of his own heroic actions. Although Jameson doesn't pay well, he agrees to buy more of Peter's photos.
In a town called Mississippi from the 19th century, a boy, Sammy Moore, is a gifted blues singer and a perfect guitar player. His voice can chase an evil spirit. When Sammy sings, the wind listens, the tainted heart heals. It can also be a light in an obscure darkness while lightening the darkened souls. It is known to all man that the devil is the prince of songs, but Sammy Moore's voice got the devil himself thrilled. Sammy is a sharecropper from the sunflower plantation. He is also the son of a pastor, which makes it even more interesting. It's believed from the Christian of old that blues is the devil's song, so Sammy's father never wants him to ever sing such songs. Now Smoke and Stack are Sammy Moore twin cousins. Both are very much interested in Sammy's talent. They even plan to put Sammy up in big stage. Sammy, an 18-year-old boy who has never been in love with a woman before, now meets Perling, a pretty young black woman. She's very attractive, she's unintentionally beautiful. While Sammy and Slim performs on the street to encourage people to show up at the joint, Perling looks at Sammy interestingly. As the gaze was returned to, both gets acquainted, introduced themselves to each other. Only for Sammy to find out that she was married. Sammy asked if she was happy, but Perling warns Sammy to be careful. So one of Sammy's cousins, Stack, had a childhood crush before both Smoke and Stack left the province, but now they are back, big and better. Mary's mom and dad were half black, so she has a lighter skin. Now they think she's actually a white girl. Stack's little girlfriend Mary walks up to confront him because it's been over a decade since she last saw him. She was still in love with him too, but he wanted better life for her, so she helped married her off to a white man. In respect to the racism in the year 19th century, so he accustomed her to a wealthy white man just so she could inherit white men privileges, because Smoke and Stack were black men just like Sammy. The twin cousins, both very popular in the small Mississippi town in Chicago. They left poor but came back rich, so they opened up a new joint for night out and bar club, where Sammy could sing for their entertainment. Mary comes to the party uninvited, but the doorman recognized the young and little Mary, but she's not little anymore. He lets her into the party, so Sammy Moore sees Mary, then approached her telling her she wasn't welcome, but Mary also recognized Sammy too after he told her he was Smoke and Stack's little cousin. Now Mary was surprised. She decided to buy Sammy a drink since he's now matured enough to drink now. Smoke interferes, then sends Sammy elsewhere, but Mary wanted to speak with Stack, who she loves. Shortly Smoke left and Stack approached her. Now he tells her to give up on him, that he had already given her everything she wanted in life, but she doesn't really care about what Stack gives. She only wanted Stack. She wanted to be in Stack's life. Their Stack told her he loved her, but you sacrifice for the ones you love, so if letting her marrying someone else could provide security and better life for her, he would pick her better future that put through suffering. Now she knows how Stack feel about Sammy Moore was now introduced to the crowd, so he can tear the veils between two worlds with his voice. In the essence of his performance, Sammy introduced himself to the crowd. As he struck the guitar strings, the first song that came out of his mouth was dedicated to his father. While everyone under Sammy Moore's voice is in a magical realm where hopes are been made, dreams are been dreamed, life are been reformed, in their mind it was heaven, burden were lifted, spirits lifted, sins were forgiven, gates opened, deep souls of men and women rejoicing. Sammy keeps singing. His gift was no ordinary one. They believed music was giving to them. Now Sammy's voice was able to alter the atmosphere on the performance. The music flow was able to grow in a split second to a 21st century where hip-hop, R&B, rap was born, all in one sitting. Cultured was showcased, the Chinese dance, India ballet, America twerk, all the choreography was unmatched. People were lost in themselves, like being able to scream on top of your lungs. In other realms the roof caught fire. Unknowingly to them that the devil was already in town in the form of a man, posing as an helpless man in need. Now these unfortunate couples had to invite the man into their home, after he escaped from vampire hunters who were after him. In a twisted turn he lied to them that his house caught fire and he escaped from animal attack. As he pried on their emotions and sympathy, then offered them gold so they can allow him some shelter in their home. Once they allowed him in, the hunters arrived but they told them to leave their property, that they never saw anyone in their view. So the hunters tries to explain that they have no idea of what is going on but they chase them away protecting the devil. Without delay, as the hunters already left, the devil vampire turned both husband and wife to a vampire. Immediately after Sammy finished singing, the devil and the couple he already turned and recruited into his army came to the joint where Sammy, Smoke, and Stack is, claiming to want to party with them, but Smoke and Stack told the doorman not to let the three of them in, that they should go uptown to the White Folks Club to party, but the devil is interested in Sammy Moore, the preacher boy. It's widely known that the vampire can't access your home without being invited in. So they left but stuck around. Since Stack and Mary dispute was already resolved, she asked Smoke and Stack to let her go speak to them. Mary had no idea what she was working into. After speaking to them, she tries to leave to go back into the house, but she was attacked and turned into a vampire too. When she woke up she went back, but because the doorman knew her he invited her in again, unconsciously. Now Perling, who was also a blues singer but not good as Sammy, sings too. While everyone was feeling it, Mary went to report to Stack. Stack had no idea who she is now, so she took him to a private room to make out with him after convincing him about what he has been missing, leaving all her glory, her bosom, her natural traits. The doorman already left his duty post to ease himself in the woods, unaware of the dangers outside, so the devil vampire bit him too and turned him into one of the vampire. Unfortunately for Stack, she bit him till Smoke came to his rescue and shot her. She attacked Smoke, then ran out. Stack bleed out, then died. Smoke is disoriented, not understanding what is really going on. They had to close the party and let everyone go back home. They all had no idea of what the three white people that came early were. Everyone who stepped out of the house club were turned to vampires. Smoke, Sammy, Smoke's wife, Slim the pianist, and the designer's wife were the only ones remaining in the house. The husband and wife designers had an only daughter in their shop, so the wife already asked the husband to go drive their car close so they can go home to be with their daughter. Not knowing what was awaiting them all, he left too. Now the devil vampire stages a campfire gathering as they all have a vampire party, singing in uniform, in an articulated voice union, with blood all around their faces. The fun start to turn into ritual, as the devil sings his right, reciting everything like it's his poem. The united choreography being displaced in such manner was well articulated. Now Stack woke up, and because he has not been invited in, he was locked in one of the rooms where he died. He then asked Smoke to let him of the room. He tries to convince Smoke that he wasn't dead. He remembered everything they both went through, but Smoke's wife, Annie, already knew what he is now, so she tries to tell Smoke not to believe Stack. Now Smoke almost believed him. As he walked away, Stack burst open the door anyways. As the door fell on Sammy, immediately he stood up. Annie then poured what she had mixed with some urban roots to make a concussion on Stack. He was burned, so he ran outside too. Shortly the doorman came back, standing outside the door. He called on Slim to invite him in, but now Smoke, Annie, Sammy, Perling, Slim and the designer's wife approached the door, wondering why he was still standing outside and talking to Slim. Smoke then asked the doorman why he was standing outside while others were inside, and where he had been since the incident, but he tries to convince them he went out to take a piss. Now Annie tells him why he wanted them to invite him in. Smoke added, "You've been walking in and out of this building without an invite, why does he need one now?" But he tries to be polite about it. Now Annie tells him to accept the fact that he was dead and now he is a vampire, yet the doorman fails to admit as they asked him to leave. He was about leaving, but he remembered to collect his payment from Smoke. As Smoke agrees to pay him, Annie tells him to be careful, but Smoke wasn't careful enough. The doorman grabs Smoke out of the house as Smoke stretch out his hand. Then Smoke shot him out of fear. The people inside then dragged Smoke back inside. Now Grace's husband, the designer, now approached the clubhouse, asking Grace to join him, that the car is all warmed up. Now Stack comes back trying to convince Smoke to join him, that they can actually live forever now. Now Mary joined them, still trying to convince them to let them in or come to join them so they can all be one big family. But now Grace, the designer's wife, tries to prepare to fight them, saying she can't be inside that clubhouse forever. She has to see her daughter. As they all argue, she shouts out loud to invite them all in. Battle began as they all fight the vampire, almost dead all of them, until Stack bits Annie. Smoke then has to keep the promise he made to Annie if she was ever bitten. A stick through the heart can end the transformation into a vampire, so Smoke drives the stick into her heart. Mary and Stack had to run away from the house now. The devil still wants Sammy more, so he goes after him. Sammy run out as he tries to harm Sammy. Smoke drives the stick into the devil's vampire's heart after the sun heart destroyed the other vampires.
After a great catastrophe, the souls of Najah and Ao Bing are saved, but their bodies face ruin. To give them new life, Tai Jinren turns to the mystical seven-colored lotus in a daring bid to rebuild them and change their fate. Master Tai Jinren, also known as Master Immortal, spares their souls by exhausting his 7-colored sacred lotus, regenerating their bodies, then preparing them and placing their soul inside the lotus flower, soon after securing them inside a ball of beam so they can take their body form fully. Ao Guang, the Dragon King of the East Sea and Ao Bing's father, believes his son is dead, and so he sends Shun Gongbao to invade and attack Qintang Pass using demons from underneath his palace and the other Dragon Kings. The guard informs Naja's father to prepare for their clan. Qintang Pass is being invaded. Ao Bing knew it was his father's army, the Dragon King troops. So he told Master Immortal he could talk to and renegotiate with his father, but Master Immortal tells Ao Bing not to move, else his body will disintegrate and his soul will be gone forever. Shun Gongbao turns the sky-splitting claws into his sword as he split the skies, creating a back door for hell to descend on Earth. Volcano lava starts pouring on Qintang Pass as Hell Beast began to rain on the village. Then Master Immortal's 2 little minions escaped with a prisoner, but the prisoner got away after arriving at where Naja and Ao Bing with Master Immortal are. So in respect to their failure, they concluded an inflating injury on themselves in order to not get banned by their master, so they started fighting. Master Immortal saw the 2 dumb and dumber and yells at them to come guard him before he slaughters them. They quickly ran to him with their spears. Shun Gongbao arrived where Master Immortal was. He saw Naja's lotus. Even after seeing Ao Bing, he still wanted to destroy Naja, so he starts striking the blockage, but he couldn't get through, so he opened another volcano. Lava. Immediately Beast comes out from it. The 3 underworld dragons, they spit fire on the blockage until it breaks. Upon defending Qintang Pass, Ao Bing's body disintegrates, and Ao Guang suggests Ao Bing and Naja share Naja's body for the week, so they can complete 3 trials to become an immortal and win the antidote to restore the sacred lotus. Ao Bing and Naja's trials are all set by the leader of the Heavenly Chan sect, Wuliang. The trials are usually completed by the demon hunters of sect. As the trials go ahead, Naja takes sleeping pills, allowing Ao Bing to temporarily take complete control over their shared body. After all Bing demonstrated his ability, Wuliang out of fear appointed one of his trustees to take his place in the fight before the battle begins. Naja's manifest his presence, and because the Heavenly Chan sect is watching, Naja can't fight back, else they will know he is a demon and not an angel. He the trustee beats Naja. Then Wuliang took back his staff as he saw he trustee had won Naja. Not until Naja took a pile of the sleeping drug, then Ao Bing manifest, he beats Wuliang. Without consideration, then another most honored trustee promised to avenge them as Naja manifest again, leaving him vulnerable. He was beating to pulp. Naja could not defend himself, else his covers blows. He gets thrown out of the trial, and Ao Bing never gets a body again. So he endured the pain being trashed and beating to poop. Until Ao Bing manifest again, he trashed both the most honored trustee, Wuliang, and helplessly beats the initial trustee as he won the fight. Naja and Ao Bing complete the trial, defeating an entire village of demons and a master of demons. Ao Guang orders Shun Gongbao to guard the Qintang Pass, and he temporarily reconciles with his younger brother Shin Xiaobao, who watches over Naja's second trial and witnesses Shun Jingdao, the Shin patriarch, being violently captured by the sect's force. Now Naja must start his second trial and defeat Shun Gongbao's father, who was training the demons. After the clan applaud Naja for his demonstration, then Master Jingdao starts praising Naja, telling his students they should learn from him. Naja starts blushing as he becomes more unsettled. Jingdao changes confessions as he says Naja lacks manners and can't control himself, so Naja tries to prove himself by challenging Master Jingdao to duo fight. Naja takes the sleeping pills again for Ao Bing to manifest, then he attacks. Jingdao defends as they began to fight. Ao Bing jumps on the heads of Master Jingdao's students as he escapes Jingdao's wipe. Then Ao Bing immediately began to beat Jingdao, till he punched Jingdao into the water, but Jingdao returns with the disappearing lightning force as Ao Bing tries to strike. Jingdao disappears, till he finally got Ao Bing and kicks him into the water too. Then Ao Bing flew on the water and hits the rocks. Jingdao stood back on the bamboo sticks. But Ao Bing came back harder as Jingdao defends and disappears. Ao Bing tries to hit him at least once, but Jingdao was too fast. Finally, Ao Bing held his hand and then held his head as they fall into the deep water, then tells Jingdao to give up, but Jingdao disappears from his grasp. As he attacked Ao Bing again underwater, he beats Ao Bing until the water froze. They burst, the ice opened as Ao Bing attacks against after Jingdao has demonstrated his full force ability by changing the clouds to darkness. Ao Bing held Jingdao's hand. As the hand frees, Jingdao cuts off the hand. Now the Heavenly Clan takes Jingdao as captive, but Xiaobo attacks them. He was about to be killed with an arrow when Jingdao Xiaoboa's and Shun Gongbao's father jumped into and saved Xiaobo. The arrow angel attacked again as Jingdao disappears with his son. The angel chased after them. They ran until they were secured. Jingdao had to ask Xiaobo to run to his brother before the angel arrived at Jingdao location. So Xiaobo returned thinking that it was Mi Jia who killed his father as he saw his father's hand on Neja's grasp. He had returned to warn Gongbao of the sect's plan to plunder their village before dying of the impact. Just before Neja attempts his second trial, he is told that the Chontang Pass was obliterated, which enrages him, and he refuses to have Ao Bing help him with the third trial, which he passes with ease. Neja retrieves the potion and brings it to Tai, who works on restoring the sacred lotus. Once he has completed his mission on restoring the lotus, Tai uses it to regenerate Ao Bing's body, and Neja joins a quest to trap the dragons in a giant cauldron belonging to Wuliang. Unfortunately, the plan backfires when the other three dragon kings negotiate with Wuliang and they escape the cauldron. Ao Bing, Tai, Lil Jing, and Lady Yin all arrive at the cauldron unscathed, and they explain the truth of how Wuliang was the one who ordered for Shintang's destruction, but not the dragons themselves. Trade Shin. The Chan sect had planned to blame the attack on Ao Guang and destroy the dragons' city. Both the parties do battle, but Wuliang manages to trap all of Neja's army into his cauldron before turning up the heat of the cauldron, causing them to all be transformed.
The story begins as the antagonist Wednesday Addams gets a premonition with her newly developed psychic abilities that her friend Enid was going to be murdered by crows. After seeing her headstone, Enid appeared and grabbed her by the collar as she beckons on her that it was her fault. Immediately, she woke up screaming Enid's name as her eyes was already drenched from the Auntie Ophelia's book, known as Goody's Book, off her face. While Mrs. Addams expressed her concerns even more, letting Wednesday know she is known for her uptight nature, a child drawn to darkness. So she embarked on retrieving Goody's book, which her mother took from her. But in her absence, her mother shows unpleasantness towards Thing for allowing her daughter Wednesday endanger her life in the first place. Lurch the zombie, like human driver of the Addams family, takes Wednesday back to school, while Wednesday, in her inner thoughts, thinks of ways to save her friend from being murdered. Then, Wednesday informed Lurch to make a possible stop before abandoned, but there was still a rail of light and a red car parked in front of the building. Wednesday walks towards the building alone. As she gets close, the house everywhere seems slowly. As everything still looked creepy, she turned to Thing as Thing, then uses a sign language to communicate with Wednesday, informing her of the danger that might be scared and curious. But now she was bending with one kneel while Thing tries to balance his stamina, and the birds all out except one, the ringleader, the one with a blind eye. The side of the bird face is already shattered. Wednesday looks curious as she then turns back to the dead man. She walks towards him, now trying to figure out what could have been the trigger to make a bird attack a man in his home. She becomes more curious that maybe a lead from the man can help her use her psychic abilities. But it seems her ability is having a glitch, as it looks like her ability is out of duty because of the encounter she had last when her friend Enid touched her, putting her into premonition where she saw that Enid died because of her. She tries harder for her psychic abilities to work, but it seems not to be working. She held the man's hand firmly, but no premonition for her. She becomes scared that her ability is not working. Immediately, the police stand still as she has been made. Wednesday is at the police station being interrogated by the female police officer who initially pointed a gun at her. But Wednesday is undoubtedly relaxed as she exchanges interrogation pleasantries, knowing fully well that she is innocent. But the officer questions her involvement, showing her present at the first murder scene. Now she is at the second one. That is not a coincidence. Her lawyer, he calmly represents her daughter with all dignity before divulging any information to the police officer to the officer. She becomes dumbfounded at the situation. Immediately, Wednesday was released. Initially her lawyer, Lurch drives the car vehemently through the boulevard. Now it's time for discussion between Wednesday and her dad. The dad was always the unserious one in the family, but his role in the family was the emotional part. He is responsible for the love and psychological part of the family. Mr. Adams tries to not involve with the daughter's adventurous nature, while Wednesday asked about her mother, but as always, the dad continues to shy away from mother and daughter dispute as he comfortably sips his martini.
A true life story where Walter O. Brian is a genius with 197 IQ. Walter recruited high IQ individuals like himself to help the government as a private contractor. Sylvester, with a 180 IQ, is the human calculator. Happy is a mechanical prodigy with a 185 IQ. Toby is a doctor and the human behaviorist of the team. He has a 165 IQ. As a team of geniuses, they are incapable of managing low EQ individuals. For that sole purpose they employed Paige, an interesting lady who understands emotional values. Now she's literally the backbone of the group, while their contact in the government is Agent Cabe. This particular team is known as Scorpion. Paige was able to impact emotional values to the group, but Walter's genius mind of 197 IQ allowed him a miserable amount of EQ. He always finds it hard to communicate with people with low IQ, but Paige grew on him as they became lovers, though Walter's mind still thinks like a teenager. Happy was married to Toby, while Sylvester was secretly in love with Florence. Florence IQ is over 170. That is why in the Geniuses state Walter connects with Florence interestingly, in ways he can't connect with Paige. Now Paige knows when Walter is lying to her, so when Walter told her he loved her, instead of telling her what he was hiding from her, she noticed, then went to ask Happy and Toby, but they shies away from her questions. Later they secretly confronted Walter to ask him why he refused to tell Paige what he was hiding from her, but he shunned them, telling them to mind their business as to focus on the job at hand. Immediately Sylvester walks in with a problem he received from Alex in Africa about militants attacking their village because of their oil. The King Birana, who was having a heart failure, was placed on a ventilator which is running on fuel, but the militants already attacked one of the village fuel depot, remaining only one which is now guided by them. So in the next 36 hours the king runs out of air without fuels to power the generator. Or the generator used to power the ventilator. If he does no peace summit for Alex's village, then the militants takes over, so Walter Teams now has a task in a village called Marabi in Africa to go restore the fuel depot or find other means to keep the king alive until the peace summit is over. Shortly Walter O. Brian and his team, Agent Cabe, Gallo, Paige, Sylvester, Happy and Toby, arrives at the village meeting up with Alex. Now they were taking to go see the King Birana, but unfortunately he can't speak to them because of the ventilator in his gullet. He waves at them. The Marabi doctor treating the king interprets what he meant to them. As they were about leaving, Dr. Toby noticed that the Birano king of Marabi has been misdiagnosed and he's been treated wrongly, but the Dr. Jelani who was treating the king disputes Dr. Toby's theory that a man of 90 years is capable of having a heart failure, but Dr. Toby says if treated properly he can even reach 100 years, but Jelani says he needs to discuss it with the king first. So the team left Dr. Toby and Dr. Jelani with the King Birano, so that they can restore the fuel line. Happy was seen strapping cables on a truck because the road to the fuel depot has been rigged with landmines, so they strapped a pumping machine to the truck as they pumps water which was already mixed with chemicals on the roads. Then Happy used the scanner to check where the landmines are as they plan to navigate and drive through it. Now they began to pinpoint where the landmines are as they drive through, spraying the chemical water still on the roads. But Dr. Toby has instructed Dr. Jelani to run a test again with King Birana's blood for what he diagnosed early, so Jelani came to tell him they already drew the blood for the test, but he informed Toby that the test will return after a week, but Toby panicked that the king doesn't have a week, he will die before the test comes back. Then Toby tells Jelani to trust him in his diagnosis, that he is right, he should allow him commence treatment immediately, but Jelani cannot trust the life of their king to a total stranger from America. They argue, but Jelani disagrees with him, says he cannot gamble the king's life based of mere observation. So Jelani asked Dr. Toby not to go near their king or he will be arrested, but Dr. Toby found other ways to treat the king, as he took the needle he uses to draw the king blood so he can test the blood biological by putting a drop of his blood in the water, so his test came back positive that the kind does not have a heart disease. Now Jelani is trying to keep air on the ventilator for the king as the generator is now running on fumes, yet he still rebukes Toby from treating the king. Immediately the generator went off. Jelani went to check the generator, then Toby started treating the king. Shortly the king was revived and stable. Back to the team trying to restore the fuel depot, but Paige still feels Walter distances. So she ponders on it. Shortly they are back on the road as the landmines started going off, almost dissipating Walter's team. They swindles their vehicles between blasts as they navigate to a point where the sandstorm covered their views. Now Sylvester figures out that with GPS they can find the landmines and drive through the sandstorm. Immediately Walter's vehicle bumps into a deep as the car turns aside. Happy was with Walter. While the car had fallen on a mines if they moves it blows, they most figured out a way to save Walter. Shortly the glass window began to crack. Now they figured out a way as Walter covers his face so he can hold his breath while to fill the window side where he was with sand so the mines can't go off. 60 seconds almost up now. Paige talks to Walter telling him she knows he's been hiding something, that whatever it is they can work it out. Few minutes after Walter came out from the vehicle. Now Walter was seated with Paige as he confesses he has been keeping a secret from her, that the lecture he told Paige was cancelled was not, that he went with. He was about to say Florence, but Paige thought he went without her so Paige could have her own time for herself. She says she was proud of him so Walter played along, not sharing all the information. Then Paige leaves the vehicle while Happy came to talk with Walter asking him why he didn't tell Paige who he went out with, but Walter says he has it under control and nothing is going to blow off in his face. Shortly the sandstorm was over as they restore some fuels, then the light came back on. They left for the United States, back to base. Now Paige found out that there were 2 tickets that he went to the lecture with another person. Why didn't he say he went with someone, but Walter tries to cover it up as he seems scared to share who he went out with. Immediately Florence walked in, everyone turned to her. She becomes surprised that she has no idea what she just walked into. Then Florence says Sylvester left a message for her. Sylvester wanted to tell Florence that he was in love with her. But Paige found out that Walter went to the lectures with Florence and everyone knew except her. Paige then asked Florence if she went to the lecture with Walter. She responded, yes. Now Paige is heartbroken. Immediately Walter stands up, tell Paige to understand why he had to hide it, that he truly loves her. But Paige breaks down, say she has been trying hard to keep their relationship afloat but Walter keeps making everything difficult. Then Paige asked Florence again if he loves Walter. She responded again, yes. Walter says he has no idea of Florence's feelings. Sylvester becomes angry at Walter as he say he lured Florence, manipulated her and made her fall in love with him, but Walter says he was man enough, he would have asked Florence out from the jump. Then Sylvester quits his job. Paige, Happy and Toby too. Cabe is like a father to Walter. So he and Florence remained. Now the job Walter was gunning for with his formal team, Paige, Sylvester, Happy and Toby, now applies for the same job as a team. Walter was left with himself, Cabe and Florence. Now may the best team win as he face off with them at the job interview. Patterson and Rich had to con Kathy, the psycho computer hacker, into their FBI database office, to be able to hack into the dark clouds and stop Ivy the terrorist operations before she hurts anyone else unknowingly to them that she's undercover working for Ivy. So Kathy tries to distract Patterson, as she was hacking into their computer, while Rich was trying to uncover Kathy's trick through the other computer, but Kathy was a very good hacker as she was able to hack her way in. Though Rich is a previous ruse creator, and a professional con artist, he sure didn't trust Kathy, so while Patterson had given Kathy access to their computer to try and hack into Madeline's drive, Rich was trying to wall Kathy in so she could not access other FBI secret data. Then Patterson noticed what Rich was doing when Kathy complained that the computer is slow. Patterson had to go meet Rich, leaving Kathy alone with FBI computer. Now she's in the server. Patterson tries to understand why Rich was monitoring Kathy before they could conclude their conversation. Ivy already had another hacker working on the server too to unlock what both Patterson, Rich, and Kathy was trying to access, so Boston, the other hacker working for Ivy on gunpoint, lets Ivy know that he had before worked for someone else at gunpoint before, and it didn't add up anything because even if she points a gun at him or not, she's not going to shoot him until he's successfully hacked into the drive, so it's better she doesn't point the gun on him and other for more efficient results. So Boston continues, why Kathy continues hacking her way in. Boston runs into data errors, so Ivy saw the error, then asked Boston what it was. He acts as if he doesn't know what it was. Surprisingly, he says if error shows it means someone else hacked their way into dark clouds too. Then Ivy's men grabbed Boston's hand as Ivy gets ready to chop off her fingers. But Boston tries to talk his way off that he couldn't lock the other hacker out from the server, but Ivy was not buying what Boston was telling her, so she chopped off one of Boston's index finger. Then Boston shout out loud shorty. He resumes hacking into the drive. As Kathy already successfully encrypted some errors unknowingly to both Rich and Patterson, then at the end Kathy acted as if she was locked out from the server by another hacker. Both Rich and Patterson looked surprised. But Rich doesn't trust Kathy still, as she blames Kathy that she wanted it to look that way, that she hacked into their system, accessed their files, then encoded an error message, and that the whole thing was a ploy to waste their time. But Kathy tries to defend herself as Rich and Kathy argue. Patterson yells at them to be quiet, slightly trusting Kathy at this point because she had saw Rich blocking of Kathy from their server a while ago, so tells them she thinks they are on the same side, so they should stick together. Now they try to know who else was in the dark clouds, so Patterson checked the code of the other hacker. She was familiar with it because she had worked with Boston before, so she tells them to check out the code. Both Rich and Patterson recognized it too, as both of them says Boston. Now the three of them tries to hack it fast. They try to get the location of the hacker and other to save Boston because they knew Boston can only do these kinds of hacking when forced to, so he's in danger. A little secret: three of them were called the Three Mouse when they were working as a private contractor, but Kathy went rogue while Rich and Patterson started working for the FBI. Now they started brainstorming for any lead, try to get a phrase, see a mistake, crack a code, any slight lead to get them to know what they should be looking for that can lead them straight to Boston. But it seems Rich and Kathy isn't going to get along anytime soon, or maybe never. They continue to argue profusely until both three came to an understanding to focus on the tasks at hand rather than fuel the grudges between them. So they finally focused and worked together to hack their way in. As they got Boston's location, they went after him after they informed their FBI team, Agent Weller, Agent Zapata, and Jane Doe. They pull up in their SUV blowing the siren, but Agent Weller argues about the team trusting Kathy again after she worked with Madeline and hacked into the Air Force One and almost crashing the plane, then bombing all the FBI offices around the state, then framing the FBI most trusted team on the attacks. Jane was recruited into the FBI as a consultant, and now she's Weller's wife. She tried to reassure Weller that Kathy was never going to be trusted, so he should just focus on the tasks at hand. Then Rich and Patterson's SUV pulls out too while Kathy and Rich continues yelling at each other. Patterson was driving, both Rich and Kathy was navigating the location where Boston is, so both have kept confusing Patterson with the details of the location as they looked at the map trying to know if Patterson should turn left or right. Then both of them yells left. Patterson then takes a hard turn left. Boston is almost into the drive. Ivy thinks he's delaying her on purpose. She raises the scissors used to cut off Boston's finger again. Then Boston shouts he has unlocked the drive. Then Ivy's men grabbed Boston. Shortly the FBI arrived. They walked into the building, where they saw Boston standing on pressure plate bomb. Now everyone becomes scared. Boston is terrified. His hands were tied behind while a duct tape was placed on his mouth and other to restrict him from talking or shouting. Now Weller informs Boston not to make any tacky move, that the plate is set on Boston weight. If he tries to step out or make any little changes on the weight, everyone in Boston will blow up. So Kathy and Rich place computers on the table to try to know how to defuse the bomb. Patterson informs Kathy to try hack into the dark clouds again while Rich research on how to defuse the bomb on their own. Now Boston doesn't know who Kathy is person, but he was disappointed that she didn't meet his expectations. Now Boston and Rich argues that they handed a deal to Kathy even after what she did. Boston thinks the FBI is not proficient enough to be handing a consultancy deal to Kathy. The story begins with a couple of army brats reminiscing on their cadet days. A special agent, Major Allison, is the one and only female recruit for the Marine Corps, and that was only possible because of her uncle Sam, who was the head of security for the White House. Allison fights with so much agility and stamina, though she tops her class, but she takes her job very seriously. Also, she's too uptight. In that note, her training officer attacks her by surprise, letting her know never to let her guard down even when she thinks she has won. She swiftly calms her mind before her training officer freed her, then helps her up. Now Uncle Sam wants Allison to join him at the White House as an agent, but Allison likes where she's at right now. Still on the conversation, shortly the president speaks on the television. Now Allison shows that she doesn't respect the president a bit, as she feels he never had the guts to work out things for himself. But Uncle could not say otherwise but to agree with Allison, but believes the chair is bigger than the man, so he doesn't really matter whose seat's there. Allison agrees with him but still insisted not to be a fan of him. So Uncle Sam accepts her view. Now he convinces her that they need her expertise in the Secret Service. She should reconsider working for him. Now Allison rethinks, then immediately she accepted. Now Allison and director Sam drives to White House as Allison feels excited that she has never been to the White House before. Coincidentally, an unprecedented issue occurred with one of the agents, so Uncle Sam asked Allison to fill in for him on the Air Force One instead, on the presidential jet as Falcon personal detail. Unfortunately, Major Allison resumes her position at the White House as the Donut Patrol server. She was now treated as a rookie instead. Now Allison is not a big fan of the president because she believes everything was handed to him on a silver platter. She thinks the president is soft, and therefore has no actual regards for the man but as for the chair she honors. President arrives at the office. Major Allison salute him instantly. She was made as an intern because Falcon is also no a fan of salutations, but he saw how serious Allison was, then decided to ease her. Details are been made and agents are now been assigned to the Air Force One by the director Sam, known to Allison as Uncle Sam. General Azam Rodionov, leader of the Estovian army, sabotaged the merger between President of the United States of America by kidnapping the broker, the man in between President of America and President of Estovian of the deal, as he was labeled as a betrayal to their nation, so he was shot at the spot. Now the prepares an attack on the Air Force One presidential jet. Unknowingly to Director Sam, the agents that was supposed to be at the Air Force One was now absent. Impromptu was because they were eliminated so that General Azam Rodionov can infiltrate the Air Force One. For that too, one of the pilot on Air Force One was eliminated too at his home. For General Azam Rodionov plans to be fully accomplished. General Azam Rodionov recruited one of the best hacker into his team. They successfully hacked into Air Force One to take control of the plane. Director Sam and Major Allison arrives at the Air Force One takeoff point. They are now on board, everyone seated. The president met with the representative of the Estovian president for the actual meeting. A little turbulence occurs. Everyone was instructed to put on their seatbelt. Unfortunately for them, the plan was already hijacked by General Azam Rodionov men. Shortly Air Force One takes off from. Shortly gunshot was heard. People are been shot and taking hostage, until the terrorist group are with the President of the United States. After they have completed the hit list target, striking out name of people who have been eliminated. Now General Azam Rodionov speaks to the President of the United States to announce to everyone that he is pulling up from the Estovian deal. Now to keep the Falcon secured, Allison takes up command because all the security details has been eliminated. General Azam's men, even Uncle Sam was shot, the strongest one alive to secure the president now is Major Allison. Allison was able to fight her was until the president was with her. Now she find a way to escape the plane with the president. They had to secure a parachute. They walked the jungle until they found a cabin where they had to camp for the night because Falcon, the president, and Major Allison was shot. Though Allison still detests the president, she keeps her guard until the president told Allison. While Allison was helping the president to dress his wound, he opened up to Allison. After observing Allison's attitude towards him, he showed the real person underneath those television interviews. Allison now came to understand and really liked him. Even though she didn't like the president at first, she believes her Uncle Sam wouldn't forgive her if she didn't do her job, so she had to see the president secured and safe.